Hi everyone, my name is Akurede Adenike. You are welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time of you checking on my channel, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more videos. Today I'm making 8 pieces skirt. The skirt will be bandless and I'm going to cut it together with the tail at the zipper side. In my previous video, I drafted 6 pieces skirt, which I'm going to put a link in the box below. The measurements I need for the skirts I'm cutting today are hip 40, skirt waist 32, and skirt length 40. This is the fabric I'm using, Ankara fabric. This is the matching lining, and these are my tools. To start with, my hip is 40. I'm using hip to calculate the measurement I'm going to use. My hip is 40 divided by 8. When I divide 40 by 8, that will give me 5 inches. And I will now divide that 5 inches into 2 again. That will give me 2.5. That 2.5, I'm going to add half inch seam allowance to it. That will give me 3 inches. So to know the fabric, I'm putting on fold now for my center front because I'm cutting the center front first. I'll now use that center front to cut the remaining panels, the remaining pieces. So that 3 inches, I'm going to multiply it by 2. If you like, multiply it by 3. It's as full as you want it. But I don't want it to be too full. That's why I want to multiply that 3 by 2. So 3 multiplied by 2, that'll give me 6 inches. So now I'm going to fold 6 inches now, because my fabric is going to be folded into 2. Now I've put the 6 inches for the center front on fold now, as you can see. So I'm going to measure the length, full length of my skirt. Remember I told you I'm going to use bandless skirt that I'm making. So I'm going to measure the full skirt now from the top here. From the top here now, I'm going to measure 40 inches because 40 inches is the full length of my skirt. Here is it. Hope you can see what I'm doing very well. Here's the full length of my skirt. So, and I'm going to add 2 inches seam allowance to it. That'll give me 42 inches. Because at the top here, I told you it's bandless and I'm adding lining. I'm going to use half inch for the bandless that I'm making. So the full length of my skirt is 40 plus 2 inches seam allowance. That'll make it 42. Now I'm going to measure from my waist now, because this top now will stand as my waist, my skirt waist. So from the waist now, I'm going to measure 18.5 inches for my before the knee length. It's supposed to be 18 inches plus because I'm adding half inch to it for my lining here. I'm going to use it to fold it in. That will make it bandless. So 18.5 from my waistline. Here is it, before the knee length. I'll now measure that 3 inches all through from the top here, from my waist. 3 inches. Hope you can see what I'm making very well, what I'm drafting very well. Let me make this one a straight line. So when I get here, I'll now deduct half inch from it. From that 3 inches, it will remain 2.5. 3 inches from the waist. Then when I get to the before the knee length line, I'm going to deduct half inch So I'll now connect the lines. Connect all the lines, all the points. Remember, I have a draft on how to cut 6 pieces, which I'm going to put the link in the box below. So from here now, I'll now join it to the bottom here. We join it slantly like this. Always make your measurements right before you cut your fabric, please. So I don't want any sharp edges at the bottom here. I'm going to measure 1 inch upward. Remember, I'm cutting the center front first. So I'll now use this center front to cut out the remaining panels, the remaining pieces. So we'll now cuff it like this. Make it cuff like this. I will now cut it out. This is my center front for my 8 pieces skirt, mermaid skirt. If you are a beginner, please always pin down your fabric and make sure you get your measurement right before drafting and cutting. So that's just it, and I will now pin it down to secure it. Because I'm using it to cut out the remaining panels. You can cross-check your measurements. So if there should be any mistake before cutting, you correct it before cutting. So here is it. The full length of my skirt is 40 plus 2 inches seam allowance. I'll make it 42. Here is it. Because I'm using 1.5 to fold to do the hemming here, and I'm using 1/2 inch at the band here, at the waist here, sorry. So that's just it. I'm going to fold another fabric for my center back. This is, as for, sorry, I've forgotten is 8 pieces skirt. There will be 2 center front and there will be 2 center back. So this one now, I'm going to need 1 more for it before cutting the 2 sides that remain. And at the back, I'm needing 2 for the center back and 2 for the sides. So let me fold another fabric for my center. Then you place it like this at the tail end. Before you cut it out, make sure you get 5 inches here. Measure 5 inches at the tail head here, at the bottom here. Measure 5 inches. From the center here, measure 5 inches. This fabric is folded into 2. Make sure you always mark on the wrong side of your fabric, like I'm doing now. So this is the one of the center front. I place it like this. Place it like this. Just make sure you get 5 inches here, because this will be my tail. I told you I'm going to cut it together with the tail at the zipper side. So then you place it like this. You will now measure your zipper allowance out. I'm using 1.5 for my zipper allowance. So I've already measured it out from the waist here. You measure 1.5 inches all through. So when you get to the knee, before the knee length line, You now measure 3 inches upward. Here is the 3 inches. So from that 3 inches, you now connect your line from here to form your tail. Here is the tail now, down till this place, till this edge. This is my zipper allowance 1.5. When I finish placing it like this, so I now measured 1.5 all through. So from this before the knee line now, I'll now come up by 3 inches. So from that point, I'll now join my skirt down slantly like this. So that will be my tail at the zipper side. So I'll now cut it out. Just make sure you get your measurement right. So to make it easier for you, if you want to fold this one, you want to fold it into two to get your 2 center back for your 8 pieces skirt. Like I told you earlier, I said you multiply the measurement you get. I get 3 inches, so I now multiply that 3 inches into 2, which give me 6 inches. So I put 6 inches on fold. So to get your center back now for your 8 pieces skirt cut together with tail, to fold before you fold that 6 inches, just make sure this 6 inches now, when I open it up, it will be 12 inches. So you now add 5 inches with that 12 inches. That will make it 17 inches. This one all through now is 17 inches. So here is it. This one all through is 17 inches, as you can see now. To make it easier for you, if you don't understand the first one I explained, you will just open it up. It's 6 inches. When I put it on fold, when you open it, it will be 12 inches. So you now add that 5 inches for your toe. You add it to that 12 inches. That will make it 17 inches. You now open this one up. Make sure you measure that 5 inches that you added to it. Measure it. Here now, at the bottom here, when you measure that 5 inches, you now place your center front, one of your center fronts, you place it. Make sure it's placed on that 5 inches before you measure. Make sure you place it very well before you measure your zipper allowance out and before you join it slantly like this. So if you don't understand the first method, that's the second method for getting the tail. So make sure just curve it like this and cut it out. So I'm cutting the second side out. At the waist here, you can give it a notch so that for you to know where the zipper side is, for you not to make a mistakes. So here is the one of the center front. I'm going to need one more of these to make it 2. So here is the center back, 2 center back cut together with tail. I'm marking on the wrong side for me to know it while I'm sewing. for me not to make a mistakes. So this is how it will now form. After sewing, the tail will now come out very well. So let me continue cutting. Going to move to my sides. I'm needing 4 sides. 2 for the front and 2 for the back. That'll make it 4 sides. So I'm folding this center front now, one of the center fronts, to get my sides. Going to pin it down. Now I'm going to fold another fabric for my sides. I've folded one of my center front back to get my sides. I'm going to fold another fabric for the 4 sides. Now I've folded another fabric for the sides. Here is it. Before cutting it out, I measured side seam out. This is one of my center front. So here is my side seam. I need 2 inches for my side seam, half for the lining, then 1.5 for seam allowance. So I've already have half inch to it. I've already added half inch to it at here now. So the remaining 1.5, I will now divide it into 2 because my fabric is folded into 2. If you watch my video on how to draft 6 pieces that I said, I'm going to put the link in the box below, you will understand what I'm making very well. So that 1.5, I will now divide it into 2. That'll give me 0.75. Here is the 0.75, which I've already ruled out here now. So when I placed it now like this, it will just be like this, and I will just shape it out. There is it. This is one of the sides. I'm going to need 3 more of these now. 2 for the back and 2 for the front. Here is one of the sides. I'm going to need 4 of these. Then 2 of the center front. I'm going to cut 1 more of these to make it complete. 3 more of these to make it complete. The sides. I've already completed the center back, cut together with the tail. Here is it. So when I finish cutting it, I'll cut the lining, and I'll now show you how to sew it with the lining perfectly. So with the cutting, here's it. Here's its 2 center fronts on the lining, 2. But the lining is no longer as the fabric. It's about, you can leave about 4 to 5 inches. Here is it. You can make it 3 inches. Just make sure the lining is no long as the fabric. You can let it be 4 inches or 5 inches shorter than the fabric. Here's the 2 center fronts, and this is the 2 center back cut together with the tail and the lining. And the lining is no long as the fabric. It's shorter with 4 inches by 4 inches. Here are the 4 sides, 2 for the front and 2 for the back, and the lining too. And the lining too is no long as the fabric. So let us now move to the sewing part of it. I'm going to need